All right. Black Power is the General Sarasu Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. You know what it is, KingSeti.com online marketplace. Fly products from the General, DVDs, t-shirts for the kings and the queens, African jewelry, Kemetic jewelry, art, got it all for you. Go over there and be amazed. Patreon, General Sarasu Seti, exclusive Seti live stream videos and lectures for the family you won't see on YouTube. Go on over there, become a part of the Patreon family, and be amazed. And when we can't get it on YouTube, Sarasu Seti, General Seti, when we can't get it on Patreon, we had to take it over there to GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of video that will shock the mind back to reality. You see what I'm saying? An amazing treasure chest of knowledge from, over 30 years of research, hundreds and hundreds of video, amazing video, okay? That's going to keep you coming back for more. Go over there, GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, and to all my pages. God damn it, subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, I don't even know what you hear. You can't be here right now if you did not subscribe. But for the people that just, might pop on, subscribe, hit notification, and like it because you love it, because this is an amazing, amazing channel. All right, today we dealing with King Khufu, the first Grandmaster of Freemasonry. Or should I say, just say Masonry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to deal with that one because, see, the term Freemasonry is come from the fact that they assume what they lying as, because I just showed y'all even in the damn Bible that goddamn it, the Jew worship the damn sun. Goddamn it, that's what they worship. They worship the damn sun. You see old wicked ass Moses with his little thieving ass. And I'm saying that in jest because we know it ain't no Moses. But we using our logical mind that y'all done stole every fucking thing that y'all ever had out of Egypt. And then you gonna act like you ain't take nothing. And so that's why we had to do you the way we do you. You understand? Dog you, because you lying, and that's how we got to do you. Okay, now, I'm going to be doing a series where I'm going to be breaking down a lot of these great African, Egyptian, Nubian kings and queens. I'm going to start highlighting the greatest of the great, and it's going to be fun for me because I already got a few lined up, and, it'll give you, the interpretation of ancient Egypt from the perspective of General Seti. Because there's no need to just continue, to have these bland interpretations of our history. And that's what the fuck we've been getting. And that's why for a lot of people, it's not as invigorating, because this is supposed to be a liberational, history. It's supposed to liberate you and make you get up and make you make a move. But many times we find these armchair scholars, all these niggas want to do is sit in a chair and find another reference and another reference and another reference. General Seti make you want to get up out the chair and go do something. Make something pop. You know what I'm saying? Become that. We can always talk about how great a motherfucker is, another person. But damn, just because your ancestors was great don't mean you great. You got the potential to be great, but now you riding on another person's resume far too long and have not produced for yourself. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we wanted to do. We want to make this history make us get up, energize us to make a move. All right. Let's get on. Let's bring up this. I didn't even share my screen. Hold on, fam. Here we go. Now, when you're dealing with I'm dealing with Djoser. Okay, I put in there King Khufu. That's something else. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. I'm supposed to put in there. Let me straighten that up. You know, we actually dealing with Zosha. And I change that out of there. They ain't gonna make no difference. I'll get Khufu his shot, you know what I'm saying, in a day or so. Maybe I'll do him tomorrow. But I put in Khufu, but I was supposed to put in Zosha. Okay, and that is the king during the reign of Imhotep. You understand? During the years of Imhotep. And so we'll get on, and that's actually Khufu right there, you know, to the right. That's actually Khufu. You understand what I'm saying? But I can't do Khufu before I do Zosha. You understand? Because I got to show you the progression of the pyramid. And so when you get to Khufu, you at the climax. And I'll touch on some of Khufu, you know, as I deal with it. So the family that was expecting Khufu, they, you know, y'all won't be disappointed. I just won't focus on him all the way. And so we dealing with the old kingdom from 2686 to 2181 BCE. Now, what's so significant about the old kingdom is that for many, you know what I'm saying? This is the most advanced, time of ancient Egypt. Some will say it's the new kingdom, but you know, that was more so in expansion of the empire. You see what I'm saying? When you talking about the megalithic wonders of the world, and don't get me wrong, it's still up for this, you know, debate. You understand? Because it was so much that was built in the new kingdom. You know, the middle kingdom, it was a lot of great things built in the middle kingdom. But, you know, the old kingdom is where you got the pyramids. This is the pyramid age. You see what I'm saying? And so when you know, I had an opportunity to see, you know, in a panoramic view. You understand what I'm saying? In a panoramic view, because, you know, they built all these pyramids on the Nile River, you know, and I, you know, I was personally at the Giza Plateau. You know, you pull up to the front of the plateau. That's the side where the Hormacket, or what they call the Sphinx, that's the front. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, we walked around the back, you know, and I kind of, you know, went around a couple more, you know, pyramids, and, you know, because they got queen pyramids out there too. And then you got, you know, you had Khafra, you had Menkaure, his son and his grandson pyramid. And I got in a position where I could look up the river and see all the rest of the pyramids. I say, man, when you see it in a panoramic view, it's like, because you can see these skyscrapers, you know, all the way down the river. And then you look this way, you know what I'm saying? You got some, you know, this way. And so, you know, it was just the greatest thing I ever seen with my eyes, as far as, you know, seeing something that's just beyond explanation. You see what I'm saying? This was literally beyond explanation. This was done in the old kingdom, even though they continue to build pyramids, you know, up into the 13th dynasty. That was into the Middle Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And they literally come out of building pyramids because, you know, they was building these monstrosities, and, you know, they building these megalithic, you know, and the king be dead. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't finish the pyramid before the king was dead. And many times have been dead for many, many years. You see what I'm saying? And so literally they started, they started building the damn pyramid when many of them was born, you know what I'm saying? Just so that they could have the pyramid completed, and then they had to downsize. So the end of the large building of pyramids was in the 13th dynasty under Amenemhat. Okay, and I got Amenemhat lined up. You see what I'm saying? That was the first king pharaoh who began to deify, you know, Amen on a national level. Okay, and so We're going to come on down. Now, this is Djoser. Now, what I'm going to be using is the Aberdos Kings list, and I'm going to be, highlighting many of the great kings on the Aberdos Kings list. Now, Aberdos Temple was constructed by my spiritual father, Seti, and that is one of the only places where you can find the Kings list. There's other places, but you find the Kings list in that temple inscribed on the wall with 76 kings. You see, and these were the kings that, he saw as of the most, the greatest of all, the king, even though it was more kings than that. These was the great ones, the ones that deserved to be on the list. You see what I'm saying? And so here you have number 16 on that list, Djoser, and this would have been the symbols for, and I can get you a clearer, you see the arm there, you see the knot, you know what I'm saying, the rope tied, and so these was the symbols that identified his name. Now, this is the Saqqara pyramid complex. Now, this is shocking. You see what I'm saying? This is shocking that you talking about 2700 BC before the crap. You see what I'm saying? 27 BC. Now, as you can see right there, they're not just beginning. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just beginning to do nothing. You ain't gonna do this on the first try. Even though, this is the oldest, standing, and we say this is where Masonry started. What preceded the Masonry is that they carved into the mountains. They carved directly into the mountains. You see what I'm saying? Like when you go up into Ethiopia, or even when you go to the Valley of the Kings. You see what I'm saying? They carved directly into mountains. So many of our temples were where they didn't really necessarily have to, set stone on stone. They just dig down in them and remove the rock out of there. And so it's almost like a reverse technology where you got to be, when you carve and you ain't gonna get a second chance. So if you fuck this up, you done fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So just like when you go to Lalibela up in Ethiopia, they carved the temples right into the mountain. You see what I'm saying? You got one, St. George, which is carved like a cross. So they carved the mountain down. So that was the form of technology that many of the African architects was using before, they come into Egypt. Egypt, you got less stone, less mountains and shit. And so they had to bring a lot of the stone in to create, the great architect wonders of the world that you see today. And so I want to stress this from a geometrical standpoint, not to, because a lot of people stole from this particular architectural blueprint of Djoser and Imhotep, which is what they call a step pyramid. You know what I'm saying? But me, myself, I have a different term for it. It's a multi-level mastaba. And the reason why I call it a multi-level mastaba is because, by saying it's a pyramid, it gives other areas in the world, they say they build pyramids, which they did not build no goddamn pyramid. A pyramid geometrically come to a point. It's a triangle. You see what I'm saying? This is the first stage, and they moving in that direction. Africa is the only continent where you find pyramids, where they developed and they filled in the steps until it was smooth on the outside and it come up to a point. You see what I'm saying? And so this is a multi-layered mastaba. And a mastaba is a single level, the first level of and I'm going to use the term pyramid so people don't become so confused, but that's just for argument standpoint, that nobody else developed to the highest stage of what we call the pyramid. Only in Africa did they develop to that point. So I'm tired of people saying this pyramid. These motherfuckers take a mountain and say, oh, that ain't no motherfucking pyramid. I'm sick of that. You see what I'm saying? We talking about freestanding structures. That's another point that I like to make. Now, even though the Olmecs, those are our people. When you go down and you're dealing with Olmec so-called pyramids, you know, there's mounds up under those pyramids. It's not freestanding. And when you're looking up architecture, if you look up freestanding structures, you will not see the Olmecan or any of the Mayan or Aztecs or none of that shit on the free. When you talk about largest freestanding structures, they're not freestanding. They propped up. So they got, you know, mounds up under there. You see what I'm saying? There's dirt inside of there helping to prop that shit up. You can go over there now and you will see one layer come out and you will see the mound up under there. You see what I'm saying? And so that's not a freestanding structure. So to be clear, these are freestanding structures that 40 damn stories high. You see what I'm saying? Now, the pyramid, and I'm going to say pyramid, but I just want to clarify that this is a multi-layer, a multi-story mastaba, because he stacked mastaba on mastaba on mastaba. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the outside. Now, the pyramid age was under the worship of Ptah. And we must be clear. And so we give a lot, but we got to give Ptah the great reverence that's due him. You see what I'm saying? Because it's under the worship of Ptah in which the great pyramid age existed. You see what I'm saying? Ptah is the creator, the black creator god of the universe. You understand? Also the god of the blacksmiths, the skilled laborers. So this was and so this is when we talking about Masonry. You see what I'm saying? So now let me clarify something, that the Brotherhood existed before Masonry. Okay, we still had a Brotherhood, but we're being specific now. We're talking about the skilled laborers, the blacksmiths, the stone cutters, and so on and so forth. So this is the age of what they call mate. When you start dealing with the tools, the square, and you know, the plumb line and the chisel and all of that, those are the work. And I'm quite sure that, you know, some of them tools, you know, because you still had to have rulers and this, that, and the third, even to, you know, get wood together. You understand what I'm saying? Many of the temples before Djoser and Imhotep was constructed in wood, and a lot of it burnt down and so on and so forth. And so you see in the back, that's Djoser in his serdab. Yesterday I couldn't remember. And the serdab is the part of the temple or the mastaba where there's a statue of the king or queen that's sitting, is almost in a lifelike position, sitting up, and it's facing it's two holes inside of the wall where the king is staring off into the cosmos. So he's astral projecting into the cosmos to be one with the Almighty, which is Ptah. You see, later on it would become Osiris, and you know what I'm saying? It would become Osiris, and then from that point on, Osiris became, you know, the supreme god of resurrection, you know, all throughout the land and all throughout the world. Okay, this is another view of this particular. Now, what's so crazy? It's other tombs inside of this this pyramid. It's a pyramid field. Yeah, you got Djoser, you got his pyramid, but right outside of that, you got Unis, you got Seti. You understand what I'm saying? You got other pyramids that was, some of them I believe were step pyramids too. You understand what I'm saying? they were also step pyramids to a certain degree. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go and back that up. You know what I'm saying? But some of them have fallen down and they came out after Djoser. And so that just show you how powerful Imhotep was. Now they done did some reconstruction to the pyramid now because damn, 23,000 BC. Damn, you know what I'm saying? That building is over 5,000 years old. People got to understand when you look at this right here, man, it don't look like it could be, but a couple 100 years old, man. That when you look at the brickwork, that red granite, which I believe came from Aswan. That's where Aswan was famous for the red granite, you see, and you see this, man, it almost looked like they constructed it not so long ago. But that building and that pyramid is over 5,000 years old. Okay, now, when you talking about the oldest columns in the world, now as you come to the, you see this wall, this is how you get in it. You see what I'm saying? You'll come through. This is the oldest colonnade in the world. You can see it and they fluted. And so somehow, it was taught that these was Doric columns and shit. They tried to attribute this to the Greeks. It ain't a goddamn Greek. It ain't a nation in Europe. Do you understand that? See, this is what crushes motherfuckers. Because everybody else got some mouth. And we don't need and the scriptures is beautiful because we got that. You know what I'm saying? That's the extra, those are extra facts. But the fact that this right here is still standing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to read about it. I want you to take me of any culture, Muslim, Christian, Jew, so-called Hindu Indian. I'm not talking about the Naga Kushites. I'm talking about the Hindu Indian. I dare any one of them to take me to any megalithic structure, temple, or anything still standing from 5,000 years ago. I dare them. Please call me. Get on the email me. Goddamn General Seti at Yahoo. Get with me. I want to talk to you live on, and so I can cook your ass. You understand what I'm saying? So you looking at and this is the colonnade. When I talked about the nave, you see what I'm saying? When you come into a cathedral, you come into the colonnade. You see right here, you see how they got, and they, matter of fact, it looked like when you see this in this, let me blow this shit up. I want y'all to see this. It damn near look like the same damn design. Let me copy this. I'm gonna take this out. Now this is in a cathedral. I don't know exactly which one it is, but damn, when you take that, wait a minute, I needed one. Well, you know what? I've been up close, and you look at this red granite. You understand what I'm saying? It almost looked like they took the damn. You can see the light brick, and you see the light brick here. I could blow it up a little more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many megapixels this is. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if this shit gonna start pixelating or not. Hold on, family. Let me bring this up so you can see. It almost like, goddamn, when you see up close, it's redder. It almost look like they used the same goddamn design, as far as the brickwork. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot. That's a duller goddamn picture of, Saqqara. But it almost looked like they took the goddamn brickwork. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's some light ones and some redder ones and this, that, and the third. So it almost looked like they took some of the, but you see the column, the nave. You see when you come down there through the columns, and then way down there is the Holy of Holies, and you come through the nave. which is to navigate. This is where, and then when you go all the way, when you navigate all the way down the processional causeway, you come to the Holy of Holies in the Egyptian temple where you find the Ark. Okay, so when we talk about, and you hear that term in architecture, the nave, that's the root of navigation. It's symbolic of the Nile. Okay, and you're gonna see the Ark come out of the Holy of Holies, which is the womb, and come down the nave, which is symbolic of the Nile, the celestial Nile, and then they'll go into a ceremony, hit and actually go to the Nile River, maybe sail down to another temple of another deity, commune, and have a ceremony, then get back on the Nile, come back down the Nile, come to the temple, come back down the nave, okay, navigate down and go back into the Holy of Holies. You see what I'm saying? And so here you looking at, now this is supposed to be Doric columns. And here, see the flute? You see the flute inside of the column, and then you come right here and you see the fluted columns right here. You see what I'm saying? Over goddamn 3,000 years before Greece even stood on the planet Earth. Now, what's so, and you can see again that, the architecture of ancient Egypt is nothing but the South recreated in stone. When you look at the papyrus, and the papyrus columns and the lotus columns and, and all the palm columns, this is symbolic of the South where they come from, the papyrus swamps, and you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth, the lotus swamps, and the palm swamps that they come through, coming down the Nile, and so that's what this is where you get the hypostyle hall, and so on and so forth. So you come down. This is up under the pyramid of Djoser. You got tile on the wall. And they telling you that tile was created, and I don't know what the fuck they talking about. That's tile, them 3,000. This is not the people just getting started. And so this is what's so shocking to the mind, because this is the third dynasty. This ain't it's over 30 dynasty, and then the 30th one we don't count because that's Greek shit. You know what I'm saying? So really after the 25th is the last, which is the Ethiopian Kushite colony. That's the last true one, even though it was still some brothers, you know what I'm saying? After that, they was trying to do some things, but it was to no avail. So the 25th is really the last. This the third. And we talking about Egypt lasted over 3,000 years. So this was like in the first, you talking about the first 300-400 years of dynastic rule. I'm not talking about, because Egypt existed before dynastic rule. And that's what y'all got to understand. You see what I'm saying? So this is where they developed to dynastic rule, where you got the great pharaohs and so on and so forth. So you see the tile up under the, and you can see look at the development. You know what I'm saying? Much of that up under there is perfect. Now I've heard that at many times it flooded, this, that, and I don't, it had to been at a time when it was near the Nile. The Nile then dried up, you know what I'm saying, long ago. So that water had to been down there for a long damn time. You know what I'm saying? And so the first stone structure in human history, the pyramid of Saqqara, was built by the Grandmaster architect Imhotep for the Sultan Djoser, 2668 to 2649 BCE. And so this is where you get the term stairway to heaven. You see what I'm saying? As they went up the steps, you know what I'm saying? This shows you the level of spiritual development as you ascend up the steps. You see what I'm saying? To go and be one with Ptah, later to be one with Osiris and Isis. Okay, and you see right there the black god Ptah always shown to be black. You see what I'm saying? even at Abu Simbel, where you have, you had Amun, wait a minute, you had Horus, you had Ramesses II, and if I'm not mistaken, Ptah and Amun was in the Holy of Holies, and the sun would shine in on the if I'm not mistaken, the solstices and equinoxes, where they had the temple aligned to the cosmos in a way that the sun would, we talking about the nave. It come down the nave, and it's hit it directly where it come down the nave and hit that Holy of Holies and light it up. And then you can see the deities in there shining. But when it did that, the only deity it didn't shine on was Ptah, because Ptah is the black god of the cosmos. That's a specific trait of Ptah. So he was sitting over to the left where the sun wouldn't hit him. That's cold. You know how people could do that. Not only were they masters in architecture and astronomy, they could work them together to the point where they could align the temple. Not just, how you got a blueprint and how you lay it out, but you also got a blueprint in the sky. When you align in these temples and pyramids with the stars, and to where, at certain days of the year, these cosmological, entities would come into the temple and commune with the gods in the temple. You see, no one does it better. You see, and so here go the God, there I am. I don't even know what year this was. I don't know if that was 2004. That's me at Saqqara. Think that's the same year. Throwing the fists up, still the king. You see what I'm saying? And so you see right here that, even then that the King Cobra, you see what I'm saying, was very significant. So when we talk about the Nagas, and, we see that this spiritual, entity of the Naga went from Egypt to Kush into the various colonies that you see in Asia and even in the Americas, all originate from the great kingdom of ancient Egypt, Nubia, Ethiopia, and also Punt also. You understand? We got to deal with all the great Nile civil, and this one is a little, you see again that red stone. This one got a little more color, and it's fading, but down here you see a little more bright red. You know what I'm saying? You see a little more bright red. Let me come. Now, as you can see, this is Djoser's. If you're looking on this particular, you can see this is Djoser's pyramid complex. Then you look over here, this is Sekemket. You understand? Heru Sekemket. So he had his pyramid complex over here. Then you had Unis right there. And I went down in that pyramid. You see, I went down in that pyramid, and you got mastabas over here. Mastabas are just single story. You know what I'm saying? It's not a multi, just the first level is a mastaba. And even then, those were pretty large. When you talk about in the first dynasty, they had mastaba. And I'm going to go back and deal with that. And you look at the how many rooms was it? And we talking about the first kingdom. This is not the beginning of nothing. This is how people, even at the time of the first dynasty, had already been developing for at least 25,000 years or more. I'm just giving you the minimum because, like I said, they had already studied the great year with the sun's revolution around its sun. You see, which is 25,000 years. And that's how they knew of Sirius B. You understand what I'm saying? Not no motherfucker, we use the spiritual, sense that we astro. No, we did not. This is science. We saw it with the naked eye. And I understand, our spirituality to explain things from a mystical spiritual way. That's cool. But we got to deal with the fact that we actually solved this. You understand? We can't just, neglect the fact to say that we've been moving on the earth and, so long that we've been around the great solar year of the sun in its revolution, because it's also spinning in a revolution, just like we spinning. And so we done been through the 12 zodiac houses of the great solar year of the sun. In doing that, many instances, stars that's in the front later become in the back as you move around the great, the circle of the sun's revolution. And so there was an age in many ages where Sirius B was in the front. Today, Sirius A is in the front because that's where we at on the great year. But as we keep spinning and going around the great year, we're going to be in a position where Sirius B going to be in the front and we'll see it with the naked eye. Trying to tell you, wake up, wake up. Okay, and so let me come on down. Again, showing you, this is just showing you the complex. And as you can see, this is the sacred oblong. You understand what I'm saying? The rectangle. You understand what I'm saying? Where you can, man, listen here. Let me show y'all something. I'm going to show you how they steal it. Let me show y'all how they steal it. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all the Ziggurat of Babylon that they've never found. Okay? And when you see it, you're going to see that they stole the whole fucking design. Watch. Ain't nobody in their right mind can't see where the fuck they stole it from. I'm going to show y'all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, y'all can fool these little niggas, but you ain't going to bring none of that shit to me. I'm shooting a motherfucking hole in that shit. Okay? This is one that I'm going to drop down here so y'all can see. I like teaching in live so I can show motherfuckers I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I ain't putting shit up there or nobody else. This is me. Nigga, wait a minute, hold on. Let me bring, okay, now you see this is the layout. Now look at this shit. This don't make no damn sense. Now this is what they got up there for the Ziggurat of goddamn Babylon. You understand what I'm saying? Look at this shit. You can see the wall. You can see the wall. I mean, you can even see the ridges in the goddamn wall. I say, man, that's Saqqara. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all another one. That's motherfucking Saqqara, man. No, get out of here. And I'm going to show you what's there now. I'm going to show you what's there. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you what's there. So I don't want nobody to ever compare no damn what they call Mesopotamia to Egypt or Ethiopia at all. That's a disgrace. You understand? This is what's actually left. Okay? This is what actually left. Look at this shit. And fucking Saddam Hussein put that little shit around there. That shit it was a fucking mud mound. That's all, no brick. That's mud that then dried up and rotted. Okay? That's all that is. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. I got to do this for you. And then I'm going to move on. I want to show this. Put that one at. And I'm going to drop on in. Because I done showed many times. I got the motherfucker where they was working. This is a nice example too. You understand what I'm saying? And so where did they get, if this is all they got, where the fuck did they get the design for this? I'm going to drop this in. See, this is fucking Babylon. You see the damn wall? You see the damn so-called ziggurat, which ain't nothing but a step pyramid. I'll use the term for now. And you come back here, and then you come back here. You see the ridges in the wall and every motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Quit letting these motherfuckers steal from you. You see what I'm saying? Right there, you see the ridges. Clear. You can see the ridges right there in the wall. And here they're going to come down here and steal right from Saqqara to recreate this shit when this is actually how it looks. Okay? And so again, what's clear about it to make the connection, because I don't want nobody to steal, and give the credit to no aliens or nothing like that. Somehow motherfuckers is, because they don't have no understanding of the whole of ancient Egypt. In order to have the whole history, you got to know Nubia, you got to know, you got to know all the cultures on the Nile, and then you can have an understanding of Egypt. See, when you go to start giving credit to a goddamn alien for ancient, I know you don't know. You see, now you can see right here, see this so-called pyramid. You see this, now you see right here, they took it to the next level. You see, they closed that in and brought it to a point. Only in Egypt where they done that. Now, when you go to the master box, even when you go to pre-dynastic burial, they show you the development, the royal tomb. You see, it's just a small, and the first dynasty, and then they started adding a structure above, which they call early stone master box. Now, what's significant when you look at the early master box, the shaft and the deep, the deeper burial down into the womb of the earth, and then you go to the royal pyramid tombs, you see the burial is still the same. Got a couple columns and so on and then you get to Djoser pyramid, you see that the burial up under is the same as the Great Pyramid. It's a development. Okay? It's the same burial up under the structure is the same. So it developed over a period of time. You see what I'm saying? And so here again, you see, this is a master box. This was what he started out building. You know what I'm saying? And then he added on to this, the lighter tan color, and then he took it to the point of where it is today. He kept adding on to it. You know what I'm saying? He said, well, damn, I think I could do a little better. And so this was the development of Imhotep. You see right here, this is a master box. See what I'm saying? This is what this is the one level. And so this is what he started out to build, and he continued to add on it and add on it and this right here, you can't even find no map. That's better than the ziggurat. You understand what I'm saying? This is old kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And so there's many rooms with great manifestations, great artifacts, gold, vases, jewelry. You understand what I'm saying? Up under this master box. And this is what I meant by the Sir Dab, where the king is looking. But he would have actually been facing, you know what I'm saying, towards the sun in Djoser. And so there would have been holes in the wall in which the statue of the Pharaoh would be able to look out. You see what I'm saying? Look out into the cosmos, and you see the burial down here of the sarcophagus. Now, what's significant, this is Narmer right here. This is the first king of ancient Egypt. I got a chance to see that particular statue in, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the Flinders Petrie Museum. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't in the British Museum. It was in the Flinders Petrie Museum. Okay, what is the significance between Narmer, the first king, 3200 BC, to Djoser, 2700 BC? You're actually talking about close to 500 years. This is the Narmer's Palace. You see, this is the oldest historical artifact of ancient Egypt, okay? There's a lot of artifacts that precede dynastic Egypt, okay? But so when we dealing with the dynastic Egypt, this is the oldest artifact. It shows Narmer, showing with his apron, showing with his mace, show the chisel, show the square, all the elements of, construction and shit, many as if you see the chisel, then you see some stone. But like I said, they use the chisel to carve a lot of the stone up out out of the mountains. You see, now when you look up here, what you see? You see the temple. You see a temple. You see the grooves inside of the temple, just like you see in Saqqara. You see what I'm saying? You see the development. See, that's why people don't know. They can't show you the development. I'm showing y'all some real shit today, family. You know what I'm saying? I could rock motherfucking university. I make motherfucking PhDs run up out of there with this shit because they don't know none of this. You understand? This shit took 30 years under Grandmaster teachers. You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and John G. Jackson and Sheikh Diop. You see what I'm saying? You know, it took great teachers to get me here. You see what I'm saying? So you see right here that this is the very temple from the first dynasty. The only thing that this one right here was in wood. It was in wood. They might have a little stone up under there, but that was in wood. You see what I'm saying? But many of the elements that later would, you know, become part of the dynastic Masonic era preceded Djoser and Imhotep. Now, this is a tomb that's actually at Saqqara. This is one of the priests. And you can see right there that he was a brother because he got on his apron. You see what I'm saying? He got on his apron. So this is, I mean, if you can find all of this in Egypt, what is the problem when it comes to Israel and so on and so forth? Now, this is one of the Grand Vizier. I believe was the Grand Vizier. Wait a minute. Who was Mayor Ruka? Mayor Ruka he had a high position. You know, if I'm not mistaken, at the time of Djoser, if not at the time of Djoser, at the time of Unis. I don't know. I have to go back. Mayor Ruka might have been the Grand Vizier of Unis. And I have to go look that up. But this is his master by outside of the pyramid. You see what I'm saying? And so you see him in there and you see him on his square. You see him with his left foot forward and you see him with his apron. You see his aprons all, you know, on these particular cards. You see me right there with the master, right there with the master in the master by Mayor Ruka. This is the master by of Kajimini. So, you know, if you might not have been able, you wasn't the pharaoh, you ain't gonna get no pyramid, but these was rich, powerful kings. Not kings, but members of the royal house. You know, they had high positions in the royal house, so they got a master by around they pharaoh and they king. You see what I'm saying? And so inside of these, this is the master by, you see right there the Twa, which they call the pygmy. Right there, artisans, blacksmiths, you see them right there. You see the brothers in there constructing the collars, the royal necklaces, and the Brotherhood. This is also the collars, what they call the Masonic collars. You see them in there with the scale. They're in there trading. You understand? You see one of the priests. He's counting, he's registering, making sure that everything is correct. And here you see the Brotherhood. They didn't step these kings or these young men that stepped out of place. And you see they in there getting their ass. You see he got that stick. You understand? He bending his back over. You done did something you ain't had no business doing. So you even see the brothers in there straightening that shit out when you get out of line. You see what I'm saying? This is the Brotherhood. So the masonry aspect is that they built in stone, but the stone masons and the irons, the blacksmiths were in a fraternity, and that later became what you call today Freemasonry. The only thing is, the only aspect they got of it is the fraternity. They have no understanding of architecture and cosmology and so on and so forth. These are just some drunkards. You know what I'm saying? Who have stolen the great legacy of Africa. You understand what I'm saying? pillaged it and pleasurized it and repackaged it and sold it back to the world as Freemasonry. And so once I show you this, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the other stuff is redundant. So I don't have to go down. But just to show you that this is when the pyramid age started. This pyramid right here of Djoser started Masonry. Okay? And Masonry is stone. You have no stone structures still on the planet today. I'm trying to tell y'all that. So this is Masonry. Okay? This is Masonry, and this is where it started. Now, again, I must stress that the Brotherhood existed before Masonry. So you see a lot of the symbolism preceded Masonry. You see what I'm saying? But when the brothers came with the stone, they took it to the next level. Djoser was the first pharaoh that was buried horizontal. You see what I'm saying? He let me make sure that's correct. That's right, horizontal. You see what I'm saying? Parallel to the horizon. So, you know, before that, all of the kings was buried in the fetal position. You see what I'm saying? As they come out, out of their mama's stomach in the fetal position. You see what I'm saying? And so Djoser was the first one that was buried, if I'm not mistaken, in the sarcophagus. And, on the horizontal, even with the plane of the horizon. So when you start seeing people laid out, that's the first time that it happened. You see what I'm saying? So you see certain characteristics start to, arise that didn't happen before Djoser. You see what I'm saying? And of course, Imhotep, the greatest of the great, you understand, the greatest, Mason of all time. He's the greatest. You see, he started in motion the other pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and many more. It's over 100-some pyramids that were built in Egypt. And then when you go into Nubia, there's even more than that. The Nubians got over 200-some pyramids. So between Egypt and Nubia, you have 300 and some odd pyramid. Okay? And so right here, you dealing with the king and the great architect, multi-genius Imhotep, that started what we call today Masonry. And I want y'all to, and before I leave here, and I'm not talking about this crap that y'all see today. I'm talking about architecture, the fraternal aspect, plus the mighty skills of architecture and masonry and the ironsmiths and the goldsmiths. You understand what I'm saying? And under the worship of Ptah, who is the cosmic blacksmith that laid out the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? He is the God of the Masons and architects. All right, family. What I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna change this because I put in Khufu and my mind just running, it is Djoser, and we'll get to Khufu. We'll get to Khufu. I might just do Khufu tomorrow, just or next, maybe not, but next, and so that we could catch up. I can't skip. No, I can't go to Khufu. I can't go to Khufu. Because I got to go to his father, Sneferu, who built the first true pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to come out of line and jump over Sneferu, who built the first true pyramid, but most definitely Khufu, who built the largest pyramid ever on this planet. We're going to get to him. So thank you for being in the house. Again, check me out, GeneralSeti.com. Seti University. Get with me over there, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, Patreon, General Seti. I want to thank y'all for being in the house today. Patai, you know what it is. See you soon, brother. And the beat goes on. Black Pop.